And so when I met this developer, I definitely believed that this was the answer to my financial struggles. Well, I think we should go back a little bit because your listeners might not know my story. So let's help them understand at least why I'm in redemption mode. For those of you that don't know my story, I was by all accounts, the perfect little Indian girl growing up in Miami and did all the right things, right? I always colored between the lines and never went off path. And I'm 54 now and I have to date never tried a drug or tried a cigarette. Like I have just been very um straight and narrow. And I'm really the last person anybody thought would have ended up in prison. I went to a really good college, graduated top of my class, worked on Wall Street, went to a really good law school. And I'm only saying this not in any way to be boastful, but to just sort of set the stage for what happened, which is in 2004, I was introduced to a real estate developer. And at the time, I was a real estate attorney here in Miami running a solo practice. So I had four people that worked for me. We had, two very little children. And I felt all this like the need to not just make the client happy, but to make the money, to keep up with, have financial stability, to keep up with appearances. And Miami is no stranger to all of the sort of materialistic ideals that people put out there. And so I was caught in that. And so when I met this developer, I definitely believed that this was the answer to my financial struggles. And not that I was trying to make like millions of dollars. It was more just like having financial stability and being able to spend more time with my kids versus hustling all the time. And because I was missing dinners, I was having marital problems, all these things. And so when I went to go meet the developer, without going into all the details, I recognize now that my stomach was screaming, my gut was screaming, something didn't feel right. And I just didn't listen. And versus asking the questions and listening to my gut, I just was I needed this client so badly, is what I convinced myself. And so I just turned a blind eye and started working with the client for about 15 months. And I was doing closings. So real estate transactions for your listeners, like when you buy a house, I was doing those closings.